Free comic book day, guys. It is May 9th, 2017, and it was a fantastic day. I like to joke to people that when I went to the comic shop, I bought my free Hydra-inspired Thor hammer. Well, I also picked up, of course, Free Comic Book Day, Marvel issue of Secret Empire, which is fantastic. You gotta love comic books. And you gotta love Secret Empire. You don't have to love Hydra Cap. And you don't have to love the fact that he's worthy enough to pick up the hammer. But you can appreciate good storytelling, and I'm telling you, Nick Spencer is hitting it out of the park with Secret Empire. I want to talk about Secret Empire, and the Secret Empire Free Comic Book Day issue basically has Hydra Cap at the end of the issue, after defeating all the heroes, holds up Thor's hammer to suggest that Hydra Captain America, the person who is a Nazi, a term that Marvel does not want to use, the Steve Rogers, who is now turned into a Hydra agent, who is now leading Hydra, taking over the United States, and next stop, I'm sure the entire world. He is now worthy, apparently, to hold Mjolnir, or Jolner, or Mjolnir, or however you say the name, Mjolnir, whatever it is, the hammer. I'll just call it the hammer because, blah, it's the hammer, and he can wield it. Now, here's the interesting thing about this. Axel Alonso and Trevor Brevoort and Nick Spencer gave an interview to ABC News where they talked about Secret Empire, and it was very, very interesting. And I gotta comment on this because I'm loving Secret Empire, but I gotta tell you guys have gotta quit pussyfooting around when you talk about Secret Empire. You know, they went through that whole interview and they never once said the word Nazi. It's incredible. I mean, quit being cowards, man. Nick Spencer, you're not a coward on Twitter. You stand up for yourself on Twitter. I respect you for standing up for yourself on Twitter. I don't have to agree with everything you say, but I respect the fact that you're not afraid to engage with fans. So, you know, stand up for yourself on ABC News a little bit more. They're Nazis. Captain America is a Nazi. He's a Hydra agent. But I want to give some kudos to Nick Spencer because he defended the storyline, and he says, he did say that, you know, that it's true that we fans, we always want our characters to be happy. And, but of course, the writers are diametrically opposed to that. In order to make the story interesting, they have to challenge the hero. So naturally, the writer's going to do the exact opposite, make the characters miserable to create some drama, and that's basically what they did with Secret Empire. It's interesting, John Brevoort says, remember that in the Zero issue, 3 major events had happened. Hydra agent Captain America had orchestrated the Chitauri invasion of Earth, so he set that up in a manner that would keep Captain Marvel trapped outside the Earth. There was criminals that escaped New York City that was orchestrated. Criminals were wreaking havoc in Manhattan. That was set up by Captain America. And then there was a Hydra attack taking over the nuclear-armed country of Sokovia. And all those things were coming to play. That was in issue 0. We then moved into issue 1 and this comic book, Free Comic Book Day, and we see now that all these players are in play. So now with Captain America, he's got, and I gotta read these off because Viper, Gorgon, the new Kraken, who we don't know who he is yet, Arnim Zola, and Dr. Faustus are all part of the Hydra Council. He also is dealing with his friends, Sharon Carter, who can't believe that someone she loved has been this bad and cruel and is basically masterminded to take over the entire United States. And also his best friend, Rick Jones. That's who it is. Rick Jones has been executed because he refuses to pledge allegiance to hail Captain America or to hail Hydra, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care, and he believes that that the real Steve Rogers is somewhere in Captain America's psyche, and that eventually good will win out. Of course, it certainly doesn't seem to be that way at the present time. And it appears as if Hydra Cap is not only the victor, but Hydra Cap is also, it appears as if he seems to be a good guy, or at least worthy enough to wield Thor's hammer. But then what's interesting is that Thor himself is unworthy, or Odinson. In his recent comic book series that ended, it was called Unworthy Thor, so even Odinson himself has been unworthy, but nonetheless was capable of wielding a different hammer. So perhaps the hammer that is wielded at the end by Captain America at the end of the final page of Secret Empire Free Comic Book Day, perhaps that's not the Mjolnir, the hammer that we're familiar with Thor holding. We'll have to wait and see. Also, what's interesting here is that apparently Scarlet Witch, the Vision, are also on Hydra Captain America's side. So that's pretty interesting. And the rebel forces that are against and fighting Captain America are led by Hawkeye, Black Widow, and all the younger generation legacy heroes, the social justice warriors of Miles Morales and Miss Marvel, and I think a new character, legacy character, who's by the name of Rashawn, who is very likely being set up to be the new Patriot, taken over from, of course, the old Patriot has ultimately became Sam Wilson Captain America. And so this new Rashawn character is likely going to be the new Patriot. So that's exciting. And so we have the old guard of Hawkeye and Black Widow training a younger guard on how to be how to overcome the forces of Hydra. And their base of operations is outside of Las Vegas. And of course, well, it looks like at least at the end of Secret Empire issue 1. That Captain America is aware of that, and Tom Brevoort and Nick Spencer, they did give away some spoilers in their interview with ABC News, and I'll leave the link below, which they basically say that it looks like it's going to get pretty rough, and that Las Vegas isn't probably long for this world. It's going to get decimated quite severely because Hydra's got to make a statement. What is so interesting about how they did this Secret Empire #1 and leading into the Free Comic Book Day is that they've jumped ahead they say just a couple of months, but it seems to me that they jumped ahead farther than that, because already they're showing children being indoctrinated in school with the new history. Hydra's rewritten the history books to be more Hydra friendly. The stock market has been essentially, the economy is doing fine, but there's a strong implication that even that is not true, because Dr. Faustus, who has mental telepathy powers, Dr. Faustus is basically in control of the stock market. So I suspect that Dr. Faustus is artificially sort of forcing people not to buy or sell stock in such a way as to create an artificially inflated, healthy stock market, when in fact it's not healthy at all. He's just controlling what major stockholders buy and sell. So even the stock market in the Hydra Captain America universe is very much in controlled by Hydra. Anyone who doesn't pledge allegiance to Hydra is immediately apprehended and either disappears or is killed. Quite frankly, the fact that Captain America gives the order to kill Rick Jones, who we understood to be his best friend leading into Secret Empire, or one of his friends, is very interesting. The one thing that is really odd, though, so far with Secret Empire is that Nick Spencer is portraying Captain America, or at least it looks like he is, like almost like we're supposed to try to empathize with him, and it's very hard to. I don't understand. I mean, there's images of Secret Empire #1 with, you know, Captain America getting all weepy-eyed and droopy and miserable because his best friend Rick doesn't like him anymore. It's not beholden to the character. Even if Captain America, if Steve Rogers was always a Hydra agent, what the hell does he care that Sharon Carter doesn't like him anymore? What did he expect? He's been fighting on the side of good his entire life, not revealing he's a Hydra agent. Then when he comes out, did he think people were going to welcome him with open arms? Was he really that stupid? Well, apparently he is that stupid, because he actually seems to be disappointed. He actually seems to be sad. What he isn't, though, you'd think that he would in fact be or look evil. That's where there's a disconnect here. I'm not really buying into the whole Steve Rogers is actually sad. If he's bad and he's always been a Hydra agent, then he's always been a Hydra agent. I mean, it seems a little odd to me that I don't feel sorry for Hydra Cap, and I don't buy into it. Something is wrong. I'm missing something in the story, and I hopefully that disconnect in his character portrayal will maybe draw itself out. I'm not really sure why Captain America is moping around. He seems to be sort of a reluctant leader now. Like he didn't know what to expect when he took over the world, and when he won, and he has exactly what he's always wanted and always dreamt about, and he's miserable. And he can't believe that Rick Jones would say Avengers Assemble instead of Hail Hydra. Rick Jones, before he's killed by firing squad, screams out Avengers Assemble instead of Hail Hydra. So I think that that obviously disappointed Hydra Captain America. Sharon Carter, I don't know. Captain America, who could probably get any girl he wants, for some reason he wants Sharon Carter to come onto his side too. Sharon Carter, who he's gotta know is never gonna pledge allegiance to Hydra. Even if Steve Rogers, if he himself is running Hydra. He seems disappointed in that as well. It's astonishing that he has this level of naivete. He ought to know better, and yet he doesn't. So that doesn't really seem... I don't quite buy into that, why he would be... He's a tactically and strategically brilliant person that orchestrated the takeover of the planet with his Hydra forces and overcame Red Skull, took over the planet, and yet he can't seem to... and he can't seem to understand women. Well, welcome to the club, Hydra Cap. By the way, you're never going to understand. I don't know. His characterization is interesting. I'm not really sure where Nick Spencer's going with Steve Rogers' character. On the one hand, he seems oddly, almost kind of like he's pussy whipped and pathetic, and then on the next hand, he'll execute Rick Jones. So on the one hand, he mopes around with Sharon Carter like a mopey little, high school student who, who's upset that he can't woo his woman, and then he turns around and he has a meeting with the Hydra Council to perpetuate the propaganda and the BS around the country, of which, in order to indoctrinate the masses. He's drank the Kool-Aid, but it's almost like he's not drank all of it. He seems to want everyone else. He doesn't want to force people to follow Hydra. He thinks they should follow the Hydra willingly, and yet at the same time he's turning around and he's doing all these clearly fascist things. While at the same time, Marvel is advertising Hydra and this event as, they're not Nazis. No, they're Hydra agents. No, they're Nazis. They're Nazis, and they've taken over the United States. And that's what makes it interesting. If they weren't acting like Nazis, it wouldn't be an interesting story. So let's call it what it is. These are Nazis that are apparently worthy to wield hammer. Nick Spencer made some other comments in the interview. He says that that Secret Empire is meant to be a cautionary tale about a timeless struggle. It's a contest of values. He said it's about showing how we must remain vigilant, and we have to be careful because the story is meant to show how it, and I say that in quotations, to show how it can creep up on you. He doesn't say what it is, but I'm assuming he means fascism. Either that or Donald Trump. Donald Trump's already here. But anyways, he said it's not just at how fastly it can creep up on you is not just a superhuman variety, but a human reality and a human variety as well. So what can creep on us, creep up on the people in a fictional universe, can also creep up on us in our world. And that's what basically he's trying to tell with this story. It's hard to say that, Mr. Spencer, when at the same time Marvel and some of the people higher ups that you work with will try to distance themselves and avoid using the words Nazi and avoid using the word politics and avoid using the words fascism. I understand why. I guess it's politically sensitive in the United States in particular, but don't shy away from it. Double down on it. This is a good story. Don't apologize for it. Don't pussyfoot around it. This is Captain America as a Nazi. That's what makes it interesting, and that's why it's awesome, and that's why you guys got to go pick up Secret Empire Free Comic Book Day. And enough is enough. Don't cave. This is a great story. Nick Spencer, stick with it. Continue to engage with fans. Because whether we agree with you or disagree with you, who cares? You're a great writer. Stick to it. And guys, pick up Secret Empire. It's free. And happy Free Comic Book Day. Get out there and get some free comic books.